As Kwame's father, Baba Moyo, witnessed his son's return to Karura, his heart swelled with overwhelming joy and gratitude. He had longed for this day, the day when his beloved son would come home, and now that it had arrived, Baba Moyo's spirit soared with elation. With tears of happiness streaming down his weathered cheeks, Baba Moyo embraced Kwame tightly, feeling the warmth of his son's presence after what felt like an eternity of absence. "Kwame, my son," he exclaimed, his voice filled with emotion, "you have returned to us." As Kwame shared his tale of adventure and redemption, Baba Moyo listened intently, his heart overflowing with love and compassion. He marveled at the resilience and courage that Kwame had shown on his journey, and he knew that his son had grown in ways that could only come from facing life's challenges head-on. But amidst the joyous reunion, Baba Moyo's mind was already racing with plans for a celebration unlike any other. He knew that this moment called for more than just a simple gathering. It called for a feast, a celebration of Kwame's return and the enduring bonds of family. With a twinkle in his eye, Baba Moyo turned to the villagers gathered around them, his voice ringing out with excitement. "My friends," he announced, "tonight, we shall celebrate the return of my son, Kwame, with a feast fit for a king. Prepare the finest foods and gather the whole village together. We shall rejoice and give thanks for this momentous occasion." The villagers cheered in response, eager to lend their hands to the festivities. With bustling energy, they set to work, preparing a lavish spread of traditional dishes: succulent roast meats, steaming pots of fragrant stews, and baskets overflowing with fresh fruits and vegetables from the village gardens. But Baba Moyo had more in store than just a feast. As the preparations continued, he called upon the musicians and dancers of Karura to provide entertainment for the evening's celebration. The rhythmic beat of drums filled the air, accompanied by the joyful melodies of flutes and stringed instruments, as the villagers danced and sang in celebration of Kwame's return. As the villagers celebrated and Baba Moyo embraced Kwame with tears of joy, Marzi stood apart, his expression guarded and his fists clenched at his sides. He couldn't shake the feeling of injustice that gnawed at his heart, the feeling that while he had remained faithful and dutiful, his brother had squandered their father's wealth and brought shame upon their family. When one of the villagers approached Marzi to share the news of Kwame's return, his response was curt and dismissive. "What cause is there for celebration?" he muttered, his voice tinged with bitterness. "After all these years of hard work, my brother returns as if nothing has happened, expecting to be welcomed with open arms." As the festivities continued, Marzi remained on the outskirts of the crowd, his emotions roiling within him. His father's decision to welcome Kwame back with such open-hearted forgiveness felt like a betrayal of his own loyalty and dedication to their family. But as he stood alone in the gathering dusk, watching the joyful reunion unfold before him, a flicker of realization began to dawn in Marzi's heart. Beneath the layers of bitterness and resentment, he could sense a deeper truth, a truth about the power of love and forgiveness to heal even the deepest wounds. And so, with a heavy sigh and a weary heart, Marzi took a tentative step forward, his gaze fixed on the figures of his father and brother in the distance. In that moment, he knew that true forgiveness required not only the willingness to let go of past grievances, but also the courage to embrace the possibility of reconciliation and renewal. The story of the prodigal son, which is commonly known as a parable of forgiveness, can be found in the New Testament of the Bible, specifically in the Gospel of Luke, chapter 15, verses 11 to 32.